He should want to go to Cleveland if we're just talking about football. But now we're expanding the question, right? We're talking about everything, the market, the conference, the football of it all. And the answer is the Miami Dolphins, all things considered. First of all, I don't think Green Bay is going to trade him in the NFC. You don't want to see, as Stephen A. would say, that bad man in the playoffs, right? So I'm starting to look at the AFC. And then I look at market. Miami is a cosmopolitan, international market. It's one of the sexiest markets in all the sports leagues. Who doesn't want to live and play in Miami? 1. 2, they are ascending. They won 10 games last year. And Stephen A., they did it with an offensive line that was better than the year before, but they did not rest on their laurels. You could argue the Dolphins had the best draft in the NFL. They brought in a top-flight offensive lineman. They brought in maybe the top-flight pass rusher in the league. So when you – and we know about the weapon they brought in on offense in Jalen Waddle. Even with Tua Tagovailoa, they are live, and he's a second-year quarterback who has not wowed yet. With Aaron Rodgers, you pencil them in as among the Super Bowl favorites. Maybe I think the Browns would be even better with Rodgers, but the Dolphins would be live to win the Super Bowl this upcoming season, and we're talking about Miami. They have the assets to get the deal done, too.
Live to win a Super Bowl with Miami. He also likes Cleveland. Stephen A., where are you?
Believe it or not, I am with the Washington football team.
Wow.
Even though it's absolutely disgraceful that they don't have a name, I love all the moves that they've made on the executive level with Jason Wright and others, Julie Donaldson and others, and the football team from a defensive standpoint, they're elite as far as I'm concerned, Coach Ron Rivera. I get all of that. But to me, the Washington football team, you need a name, get a name. Outside of that, I'm going to tell you, this might be the perfect landing spot. And I'll take into consideration San Francisco as well. But I'm at the Washington football team. McLaurin can ball. We know that. McKissick, he can ball a little bit as well. Okay? Logan Thomas, he can ball a little bit from the receiver spot. They can upgrade there as well. Antonio Gibson can run the football. Their defense is big time. They're in the NFC least. So by default, the fact that Aaron Rodgers would be in the division would guarantee them a division title. The fact that he would be in the
Cowboys are looking pretty good this year.
Yeah, well, whatever. The black cat will find them. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers would be that black cat. If Aaron Rodgers signed his name on the dotted line to be a member of the Washington football team today, within the hour, it would be a foregone conclusion. Dallas ain't winning the division. It'll be the Washington football team, okay? Because they got a defense, and you got a magician on the offensive side of the ball that can get it done. And we're talking about a franchise. Since they won the Super Bowl in 1991, that is 30 years. The Washington football team has got 3 playoff victories. 3 playoff victories in 30 years. You need 3 to win a Super Bowl in 1 year. They got 3 playoff victories in 30 years. You talk about an owner starving. Let's think about this for a second here. You're in Green Bay. It's cold there. Obviously, the winters are disastrous. We understand not much of a social life, whatever. I can assure you, in the nation's capital, that is not an issue. That is not an issue.
For you.
That's number one. That is number one. Number 2, Daniel Snyder. I mean, Dan Snyder would do anything for Aaron Rodgers. If he did anything for RG3, could you imagine what he would do for Aaron Rodgers? The way that Aaron Rodgers is spread. No, I'm not praising him. What I'm saying is the way Aaron Rodgers reportedly has fretted over the treatment accorded to him in Green Bay. Dan Snyder is the antithesis of that. Unfortunately, he fawns over people who are unworthy. So imagine how he would treat Aaron Rodgers. You talk about the closest thing to a god in the nation's capital.
By the way,
it would be Aaron Rodgers.
There are worse places for Rodgers to go than Washington. I'd put them top 5, maybe 5th or 6th best destination for him for some of the reasons Stephen A. points out. But Stephen A., the Miami Dolphins, because they have the undefeated season, 72, because of Dan Marino, they have a national following. That's a national team. And let me ask you something else. You
think they got more of a following than the Washington football team?
You hypocrite. You, Stephen A. Smith, you talk about that bad man. You're so concerned for his well-being. And I'm telling you, put yourself in Aaron Rodgers' shoes. Now you can choose where you go. Stephen A. Smith, I lived in D.C. D.C.'s a nice place. Stephen A. Smith would choose D.C. over Miami. Miami?
Listen, no. But I could afford to go to South Beach when I want to, especially if I got an owner like Daniel Snyder that'll put me on a private jet anytime I want to. I'm not worried about that, so you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's number one.
I'll be living in Miami.
You're
Thanks.
wrong, number one. Number two, let's take into account if he were to go to Miami. You got Bill Belichick, okay, and the Buffalo Bills to consider in your own division. You got Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cleveland in the AFC North. You got Tennessee in the South.
Yep.
Okay. Excuse me. You got Patrick Mahomes and those boys. It'll be a problem. If you go to the NFC East, I mean, you could listen. He could take a deep breath to be in the playoffs.
Okay. Hold that thought with your yoga breath. Let me bring in someone who played with Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl champion. A yoga breath, a deep breath.
I don't know.
You've never done yoga. You've never done yoga. You're so LA now. I figured you'd be all over that. Jeff Saturday, do I have you? Please, can you please help this group of misfits right now? So you heard Max. He's on the Miami tip, and then he also said the Cleveland Browns. And now Stephen A. is with the Washington football team. Where should Aaron Rodgers want to go?
San Francisco, too.
Well, let me say this. This has been one of the most entertaining conversations I've heard in a while. And Molly, my favorite part is the yoga breath to settle them down. So as I'm going through this, here's the problem with all of it, fellas. Anywhere he goes, they're better. Anywhere he goes, they're better. So whether you're talking about Miami and what he could do in Miami, could he make Brian Flores and that football team a contender immediately? Absolutely he would and could. Because when you look at what they have, their offensive line is ascending. It's still not where it needs to be for Aaron Rodgers. He has to continue to grow there and get better there. But if you're looking at to Stephen A's point about the Washington football team, Rivera just said recently he wants to go kind of without the QB at first to kind of build his roster, get his roster where he thinks it is. He wants to build it inside out, right? Offensive line needs to catch up to the defensive line and all those type of opportunities.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.